a rare Friday mid-afternoon live. It's like almost 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so hello to the lunchtime West Coasters. And wrapping up your day, East Coasters, in where I am. I wonder what time it is everywhere else. Good evening to the UK and elsewhere, I think. I really should know time zones. Fly enough, you should figure this stuff out, Scott. Wearing the Promote Love shirt from Steph Grant. One of the best photographers out there and best people. Music, as always, by Aidan Taylor. Our oldest of the 5. Currently working at Dyna Lone Records in Toronto, Ontario. Do you want to know how we know if you're from Toronto or not? It's if you pronounce the second T. So if you say Toronto, we know you're not from Toronto. If you say Toronto, we good. If you say T dot or the 6, I don't know, I'm older, so I don't know if that's a good phrase to refer to Toronto as the 6 or T dot or anything. I know Cardinal refers to as T dot, so that's good, and Drake is the 6. So at least those phrases are in good company. We actually went down the rabbit hole of some Canadian music last night. If you want some Canadian classics in your playlist, why are the dogs losing their mind? We listened to Swollen Members. It's a great hip hop group out of, I think, Vancouver. It's amazing. And Rich says it's Tarana. That's pretty much it. I had to figure out what you were first saying. I didn't realize it. You did so good. I'm like, what's he saying? And you got it right. It's Tarana. So no, it is true. So that's good. All right. We're having a good time over here. As always. Good times. Will says, good to see your beard. I mean face. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Will. I hope your speaking is going well in this crazy world. Jay. What's up, Jay? It's good to see you. It's one of the things I like about doing these is you get to run into some people like Jay. I'm saying, what's up, Podvader? How are you? So are the lines for real this year? The Hard Knocks hype machine has got me believing a little bit. Oh, hang on a second. If I'm gonna talk, I'm just gonna, put the Stafford sign helmet right here. I know. He's gone now. Rest in peace. But yeah. You and many other people are believing the hype right now. I'm telling you. I stopped drinking the Kool-Aid a long time ago. It's a painful existence. And let me tell you, I just bought a case of Kool-Aid for it. Something about Dan Campbell, something about the whole executive team. I've never been behind it like this. So I'm falling for the trap again, but for real, man. You got one of the best O-lines in football. We got some good guys. We filled the trenches with people, so I'm excited. Benjamin, I say there's all the love I possibly can. All the love I possibly can. Shut your mouth. Just shush. I have a LinkedIn user that says Bill's Mafia, which is anonymous, which is appropriate. It's exciting, man. Hey, Buffalo's like an hour or so away from where I am right here, sitting here. I'm excited, man. Look, I think the NFL is good. The NFL is better with a good Bills team, if that makes sense. I think Buffalo is a crazy good football city. And the Bills Mafia is ridiculous, and they're all ridiculous, but come on. You out in that cold in December at the, it's Rich Stadium to me. I'm not sure what it's called now. And you survive that? Oof. And I started watching football in the 90s and the heyday of the Bruce Smith and Jim Kelly and Reed and Thurman and, those guys. I had a choice. This is actually how I became a Lions fan, partially because of the Bills. Because within Toronto, the closest teams are the Lions and the Bills. And all my friends were Bills fans. And I just thought it was obnoxious. And then I saw Barry Sanders, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So, yeah, the world is better with a better team here. Julie! Hi. Thank you. I hope you're keeping well as well. I've seen you've been busy. I've seen your stuff online, so keep on going. Yeah, man, football's a funny thing. I've been doing a pool for a long time, and that's how I always learn players in sports, is doing the pools. And yeah, it's like, the best Sunday, sometimes you can have is at a sports book or somewhere and just watching football, making stupid $5 bets on things. And yeah, love it. The whole family's in the pool pretty much, almost. Like 3 of the kids and Allison and I are all in the one pool, and it's great. I love it. We're headed to Pittsburgh actually in a week tomorrow, to watch preseason Steelers Lions for Owen's birthday, because he's a Steelers fan. This household has a Steelers fan, Ravens fan, Lions fan, and a Texans fan. Yeah, we picked the good ones. So yeah, it's been fun. It's good to see you folks on here. Yeah, so it's a funny thing about doing these live type of broadcasts, and because one of the only ways you build consistency with any kind of show, is consistency and predictability when it comes to putting on shows. So if we ever wanted to do a show like this, like we did with the UnPodcast, except that was recorded fully. So to do this that way, I think it'd be interesting, but we'll see where we go with that. Yeah, I know. Come on, man. You try to find your wins in parenting. And hey, especially at the time, and now it's just like, well, it was better than being a Lions fan. I couldn't do that to the kids. I couldn't, force them down the fandom. I'd lose the kids. I think I would. Julie says, what's keeping you busy these days? Home. Before the pandemic, I haven't been home straight for a month in, a decade. And it's been such an opportunity to be home. And it's everything I always wanted. And it gave me this, speaking of the devil, there's Aiden. There's our oldest, the Ravens fan himself. Not only that, though, he's cocky. He's a cocky Ravens fan, except he also knows a lot about them. And knows football. And played football. I don't know where I went wrong. I don't. Good to see Aiden. So anyway, Julie, yeah, it's trying not to be busy on purpose, really. I've connected so much with everybody here, and it's been amazing. I do a job, which is speaking at events. That was my dream when I was 12. And I'm now at it. At a rate I'm comfortable at a frequency I'm comfortable at, and is able to provide for us. I don't want anything more. Like, this is it. This is what I want. And I want to continue to do this. I don't have that gene inside me that has the endless pursuit of more. I'm not looking to climb. I'm not looking to expand in multiple streams and those type of things. I want to enjoy. And I think sometimes we get this point of when we hit that goal or we hit that thing, we're just on to the next thing. We're to quote the poet Jay-Z, we're on to the next one. And I'm in it. And to realize you're living your dream in your dream in the middle of this world chaos, you just got to take a step and just say, wow, I'm so appreciative, so lucky, with the privilege that I get with it as well has been incredible. And so I'm not going towards wanting that more. I'm just enjoying the time. It's been wonderful. Benjamin says, what's the best personal experience you've seen this summer? I haven't experienced anything because we haven't gone anywhere. But it's also nice seeing, music festivals and concerts back and everything else as well. So it's been great. Jay, you can't see or hear me, but I'm laughing with you, not at you. I appreciate that, Jay. Karen says, what a Friday evening treat. Stratton Live. What's keeping you occupied right now? This is keeping me occupied. Karen, where are you located? I would love to hear where it is in the evening. I assume it's across the ocean. Yes, UnBusy is exactly. Joseph says, along the lines of not expanding, instead focusing on joy, what happened to the podcast? Great question, Joseph. So Allison and I record the show, and here's the most honest and upfront answer I can give is that we record the show because we love doing it. That's part of what makes the show is Allison and I getting together and riffing on bad business stories and bad customer service stories. And that's really our lane with it. We love it. And then when everything happened with COVID and the world, those are no stories we wanted to talk about. There was no fire for them, and there still isn't. So our promise to our listeners and our viewers was always to deliver the show with everything we got and enjoy doing it. I think if we enjoy and we love recording and doing it, then our listeners will love listening to it. And it's just we would be forcing it. And I've never done content because it's mandatory. And we wouldn't do that for the show. And of course you risk losing your listeners and your base, and so be it. Allison and I run the show, literally and figuratively, and when it doesn't sit right or feel right, we're not going to do those things. And so our focus has been on home and on the family and on other issues and causes. And we also love the fact that so many people want it back and are asking for it back, and we love you for it. But if the show comes back, it'll come back in the time where we feel it's good, right and comfortable, and it's what we want to do. But 320 episodes over 6 years. We're also very proud of it and that body of work. And if that's what just stayed, then that's what stayed, and that's what it's going to be. But hopefully, at the end of the day, it's how much I love working with Allison on stuff. So if we choose that's going to be it, then awesome. Karen's in Midlands in the UK. Glorious. Well, hello over there, or good evening. It's good to see all of you. Yeah, so it's the world's a different place now, and my brain's different too, and what I focus on and what I want to do and try to do. And the show is something that has to be in front of mind for us all the time, because that's how the show works well, is we're on the hunt for articles and things to talk about during the time we're not recording. And then we sit down and kind of just boom and hit all the stuff. We record all the 4 episodes or 5, a month of episodes at once. And then they get sent out. But we come back. If we come back, and we'll love doing it. And hopefully our audience will come back as well. But we've never done it for numbers. We've never done it for audience numbers. We don't do any of our content for numbers. Once you go through and do 6 books, you eventually start, looking at a lot of things differently, including sales of books or listeners or downloads. And the problem is that there's a chase in metrics that happens, especially when you're a marketer, that is sometimes never ending. And sometimes those metrics make you feel if you have a worth. And it's not that. Allison said this to me a long time ago. I think it was after the second or third book. And I was checking the numbers on it. How many units were moved. And I just wanted to do well. And she's like, we've done well by submitting the best book possible. And I took that to heart. Because you can't control it. A book, a talk, a video, a post, a writings, audio, podcast, that's all very vulnerable stuff. You open yourself up for criticism, for everything. And so it takes a lot to do these things. Our good friend William says, has anything changed in the appetite of audiences when you're speaking post-pandemic? Topics people are keen to digest. Yes. Yeah. There's been a huge shift. We learn part of it because, I don't go to an event and then talk to the audience and then get on stage and reflect that. We do a talk, we do a pre-call before the event, and I talk to the stakeholders and what they're looking for. And it certainly has shifted. A lot of them are like, we want to be looking forward, what it's going to be like down the road. And the big shift was not even during a pandemic. The bigger shift was what they want to watch out for. And it used to be, at the end of the call, they'd always say, oh, one more thing. And I knew what they would say. And I would say, don't worry, I don't swear on stage. And then it shifted and said, no, we wanted to see if we want to make sure you don't bring up politics. So politics is the new vulgarity on stage. But I think it's a little less what events or clients are asking for and a little more what I'm focusing on stage. I'm certainly getting more focusing on individuals and what they can do differently and how they can help each other versus, certain marketing type of stuff. It's just because it's what is resonating with me. It's the same way we do the show as well. Joseph, wait, you can't just make something go viral. Thanks for the honest answer and doing what feels right. Yeah, I love that. When we ran the viral video company a few decades ago almost, we'd have somebody come to, we would make the video. Like, the only way we could make something go well is if we controlled it. And we'd have potential clients coming to us with a finished video. They'd be like, can you make this go viral? It's not going viral. like, yeah, because it's terrible. And I'm not Harry Potter. I'm like, just sprinkle something on this thing and just make it go out there. Nimit says, Nimit, please let me know if I pronounce your name right. If not, I will correct that. What's the best city for marketing jobs in Canada? That's also a great question. One of the things you have to watch for is that marketing jobs, in my experience and the people I've talked to, and I can be way off base, so if anybody watching right now agrees or disagrees, please jump in. That marketing jobs, a lot of them are real ripe for that, hybrid or working from home, because of the way the industry is. And so sometimes geographically, you might be locking yourself down if you're thinking you just want to move to a certain city. Because marketing can do that whole, work in Toronto, but you can live a little farther away. And it's just, I can't understand companies who just make everybody come in. Anyway, that's a whole nother day, another story. But, the main cities in Canada, when you go through it, Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg, Regina, Vancouver, you go across the board. And it really means best cities. What are you looking for? Because I can say Toronto, It's crazy. It's the financial capital of the country. There's agencies there all over the place. But it's also where everybody goes, right? Or who wants to get marketing jobs or wants to work in that place, like a Bay Street and everything there. Sometimes you're joining a much more crowded marketplace for the role as well. I think marketing is also the best part of the industry to be able to try to get a job in by showing what you know in marketing. Like it's right in front of you. If you want to get a job in marketing, do something marketing wise to get that job. Like I remember when I was in HR in like the late 90s, like, the people would send a resume with a boot. I'm not doing a Canadian about thing. It's a boot. And they put the resume in it and be like, this is me getting my foot in the door. Like anything stands out, of course. If you tell me you're going to be great at marketing, well then market yourself to get the job. I don't care if you're going to stand outside with a chicken suit or something because you want to work at, I don't know, Popeye's head office. Like that's what I'm talking about. You want a job in marketing, market. There's some great stuff out there. There's a great Super Mario resume. I don't know if you've seen it. Google Super Mario resume. It's fantastic. Somebody programmed in something. It was just brilliant. Go check that stuff out. That's the stuff that makes you stand out. But all the cities, have all their pluses and minuses. Cost of living is one of the biggest concerns probably. I don't even know where I'll send you. Even Halifax would be great. But Halifax's prices are going up too. I love Halifax. I love Halifax's marketing community. I love the whole Eastern Province's marketing community. Got some great folks out there. I met some incredible marketers in Grand Prairie, Alberta. Like, there are a lot of places everywhere. It's more of what's the best place for you? Like, what do you want? Like, is getting a job at a city in Canada, part of it is like, experiencing the city, then yeah, you want to pick a bigger city if you want, I guess. It all depends on the person. But either way, good luck with picking up your job and going that way, because it's still, no matter what, it's always tough. And anybody who's looking for a job right now, please hang in there. It's not easy. It's no fun, especially with the layoffs that are happening right now. And then my problem with a lot of these layoffs happening now too, it really gets me because I know some of it isn't needed. I know it's not. And it's sad. Brian says, have you spoken with any companies who are shifting to valuing the growth of their employee career instead of the immediate as an outcome of the Great Resignation? What have you been seeing out there? Smoke and mirrors with more endless soda or actual employee career value? Yeah, it's a good question, Brian. What gets me with this is if you're hemorrhaging customers, you look at what you're doing and you try to plug the hole. You try to find out what's happening. But if you're hemorrhaging employees, they're like, well, nobody wants to work. No, it's us. It's not that nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work for you. It's not an easy pill to swallow, I know. But if we accept that we are part of the problem, we can become part of the solution. Like this, we have this kind of like ego-driven ridiculousness sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes in companies and in leadership where it's always their problem. It's my company, it's my problem. We immediately need to look into mirrors for these things. I don't understand. Like, it's right out there in front of you. Yet we have these companies who are doing the same thing they were doing 2.5 years ago. They want to get back to that. Back to the days where people had to come into the office 9 to 5. Back into the days where they could tell their employees, we don't do work from home because we can't. And then they had to. And they're like, oh, I guess we could. You put somebody through 8 interviews, 27 reference checks, all these hoops because you really want to find the best person because you need to trust them. And they're doing an important thing in your business. But then you don't let them decide what's best for them to do that work? What? If they work better from home, let them work from home. If they work better in an office setting, let them work in the office setting. We work with adults. Adults. They know what works for them. And then you have people spouting off, including Gladwell and stuff. Well, you're really hurting yourself if you don't go in the office. No, you're not. You're hurting yourself if your only goal is to climb the ladder. Then if your only goal is to accelerate and climb that ladder and climb up the company and rise the ranks as quick as possible, yeah, sleep at the office. But are we promoting the people for the right reason? Or are we promoting them because they're our drinking buddy? They like coming out. They laugh at our jokes. I thought good employees were the ones who were productive, both with people and their job. You really got me on a rant there, Brian. Thank you. Appreciate that. I do totally agree with you. Hybrid work is everywhere now, and that is really helpful. Also, thank you so much for your advice, and you're right about marketing yourself for a marketing job, showing your skills. You're very welcome. I'm happy to help. Shantanu says, is the Great Resignation really a change in the way companies hire and retain talent? No, well, this is the thing. Why people leave workplaces really hasn't changed that much. I used to be in HR. That's what I went to school for, if you can believe that. But why do people leave? And why they're leaving now is almost the same as why they were leaving before, except with that work from home part thrown in. People leave companies because of pay and because of treatment. There's other reasons too. They move or something happens. Yeah, so those are the uncontrollable variables. But the majority of it is controllable. Pay, treatment. Treatment has a lot of things under that, though. Do I have an opportunity for advancement? Is there training? Is there these type of things? But it's also, how are the people there? Is it toxic work environment? How is the leadership? How do they treat you? So many things. And it's real simple. Is your company hypocritical, yes or no? And there's a very, very easy way to figure this out. Look at your mission statement and find how many contradictions there are. Does your mission statement say we value our partners, our vendors? Okay. What's your payment terms to vendors? Is it net 180? Is it net 120? Then you don't value your vendors. You don't. You say you value your employees? Show me. How? Do you listen to them? Do you make it your job to make sure they have everything they need to do their job the best possible? Do you want 3 reference checks from me for me to work for you? Cool. Give me 3 from you. 3 people that have worked here that have left in the past year, including 1 direct report to you. A lot of people are having enough. It's pass. There's a hard pass on working for a place and being treated badly. People are realizing not everybody's going to put up with that. We choose how we treat people. Managing upward remains extremely difficult. Yes. Look, culture is driven top down and felt bottom up. If you're a leader at your company, if you have anybody reporting to you, if you're anywhere up on the org chart, you don't feel the actual culture of a company. The people with no power do. The lowest on the org chart do. It's extremely difficult to change the vibe, the culture of a company if you don't have the buy-in from the top. You can make your team feel better, but if you're always getting pressed down from above you, it's really, really hard. Hey, Andrew, good to see you as well. Mike, a long-time listener, first-time caller. Great to have you on the line, Mike. Are you watching Hard Knocks? What type of beard oil do you use? On a business note, do you think finding talent is easier now with the shifting economic landscape? Great. Thanks, Mike. I think he says he's going to hang up and listen to my answer on the air. Am I watching Hard Knocks? What's wrong with you? Am I watching Hard Knocks? Like, do you think I'm watching Hard Knocks? You damn right I am. Drink that Kool-Aid. Drink that Kool-Aid. I don't care if you got 2 toes and 1 butt cheek. Love me some Dan Campbell. What type of beard oil do you use? None. It's au naturel. I'm just lazy. Do you think finding talent is easier now with shifting economic landscape? I don't think finding talent has ever been easy. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Finding the right talent has never been easy. When I went into HR, I thought hiring was going to be, I'm going to find the best person for this job possible for however long it takes me. That's not hiring. Hiring is finding the best person possible with the budget constraints you have and the time constraints you have and the biases you have. I think the hybrid side of things makes it easier. I think if your company is hiring and you have the work from home potential or the hybrid potential or the choice potential of picking where I work and something, you open up the labor market incredibly huge. And you also can prevent some churn probably from your own people as well. I just don't think that we're looking at the wrong thing sometimes. If you're having trouble hiring people too, look at your process. Heck, apply for a job at your company. Have you applied for a job at your company lately? If not, go through the steps and let me know how frustrating it is. Because if you haven't been the one who had to fill out all the things after clicking submit your resume, uploading it, and then a next page says fill in all the stuff you just uploaded for us. And then 7 interviews. And then being ghosted. A lot of times the answers are right there, that we're doing them. I just think it's hard, period, finding talent. Because it's also a risk. You don't know who. You don't know who you're going to get. Brian says, yes, it's an even exchange. Trust for typical corporate antics is dying, rightfully so. Hopefully. I think next we got to tackle the alcohol issue that is so prevalent at companies and events as well. At the very least, if you're going to have an event, whether it's at the office or a conference or anything else, can we please put a focus on non-alcoholic options and functions? Non-alcohol functions, I apologize, I think I said non-alcoholic, but non-alcohol events. Or if you're going to have a bar or an open bar or whatever events, have other options. There's incredible beverages that are out there that can be made, and instead of just letting me use mixer. People don't drink for multiple reasons. But the problem is people can get made fun of. It's uncomfortable socially for some. It's weird. We're adults. Oh, you're not drinking? Why is that? Piss off. It's none of your business. I'm an adult. I don't know. Because I don't want to be drooling on the Vegas Strip at 3:30 in the morning like you were last night? What? We got to check ourselves, people. When it says, as a researcher in talent management, I can confirm this. Yeah! Sweet. Actual academic backup. Money and compensation is important, especially when it's bad. Meaningful work and creating value is the best way to keep folks. Bingo. Hey, yeah, that's right. It's Barry. My man. Trent, speaking of leadership, what's your definition of leadership in business and how do you take steps to fix work culture if needed? I will quote Richard Maxwell, or John Maxwell, I'm sorry. I think leadership is a verb. I think leadership is a definition of is you have people who follow you. To me, leadership is if you left, your direct reports would ask you where are they going and how do they apply. That's what leadership is to me. I think managing is a title and leadership is something that others call you. And the problem is, how do you fix work culture? Well, how do you, does leadership think it's a problem? Because if not, good luck. I wish I had a better answer for you. If leadership understands there's a culture problem, okay. But the problem is, usually some of those leaders are what the problem is. There's other ways, right? There's could be toxic employees that are like a really good salesperson or something like that. Like they are like they sell a lot, but they're also a horrible person, but they're kept on because they sell a lot. It's a good way to get rid of the good people. is to keep toxic people. One of the things about culture, though, if we believe in it, like one of those things, because culture it's not a grand 30,000 feet above view of things. Culture is the everyday. How do I feel when I see your name come up on an email, or I see you in person? That's culture. Culture is the everyday feeling people get of being a part of the company. Doesn't have to be complicated when it comes to those things. And if it is about being not toxic, if you want a better culture, then you got to stop those things in the source. So one of the things that kills team feeling, the team cohesiveness, is like gossip or talking behind people's backs. You hear somebody do it, say, we don't do that. It's uncomfortable. But not as uncomfortable as hearing somebody's yapping about you behind your back. It kills the team. There isn't a large strategic thing to fixing culture. You don't fix culture. Your culture is what it is. You want a different culture? It takes time. Very hard with the current set of people that a company has. Change creates culture. Disruption creates culture. Insubordination creates better culture. Brian says, I laugh when I hear companies talk about it. They're creating a culture for their company, can't do it. Well, there you go. That's what I just said. It's organic and take on life on its own, right? Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad we're on the same page. That's exactly that. Culture is not what you put on the wall. Culture is not ping pong tables. And look, I know ping pong tables and foosball has been thrown under the bus about not being a great perk. I freaking love me some ping pong and foosball. All day. All day. I'd play. I'd go to an event and I would play ping pong on the stage as a keynote speaker. Like, I love it. But that's not why you work somewhere. Who wants to work at a toxic workplace that has a ping pong table? Also, it can make people become toxic, depending on the game. Many of friendships have been lost on one of those tables. A foosball table, ping pong table, poker table, or pool table. All of them. Well, yeah, exactly, right? Look, I like bottomless soda if I'm at a buffet, right? Let's watch for things, you know. Hey, do they provide breakfast and dinner for employees? Cool. Do you know why? Because they want you to stay late, coming early, right? Bill says, hey, Scott, saw you speak a while back at Kuna Marketing and Business Development Conference. Enjoy your content and insights. Thank you, Bill. I love that Kuna Marketing event. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's so fun. Such great people. I'm actually going to speak soon. The Jack Henry event in San Diego. I was speaking September 1st. And that's credit unions and banks there. Love those audiences. It's going to be a great time. Bill, I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Well, insubordination creates better culture. I hear that. It is a tough to shift culture. 100%. 100%. It just makes it so... It's just really freaking hard. Honestly. That's what it comes down to. And people sometimes don't want to hear that. Because sometimes the answer of fixing the culture at the place you work is not working there anymore. Workplaces are just people. It's not the buildings. It's not the cubicles. It's not the Slack or Zoom meeting. Companies are a collection of individuals that all have their own motivations. One of those can be to help the company succeed. And there's a lot of other ones too. Sometimes there was a example of somebody who did a tweet and they're like, hey, this younger person came in the morning their first day and by lunch they were gone. They didn't like the vibes of the place. Yeah, you know when the vibes are off. I applaud that. It was great. James, love your setup and good luck to your Detroit Lions. Thank you so much. This year is not the year. I'm not looking at this year. I give 3 years for the rebuild to kick in. But yeah, I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid now this year. Hard Knocks did not help that at all. Oh, and there you go. You mentioned Hard Knocks. Yeah. Right? Yeah. You can't. How do you not love this team? How do you watch Hard Knocks and say you don't love this team? From Jamal and his personality to Campbell, even Holmes. Like, ever been a fan of the GM of my sports team? Well, not really. Well, I am of the Raptors too. Bobby and Masai are my people, but I'm excited, man. That's all I want. You know, I certainly winning a championship like when the Raptors won. You know, of course, there's nothing beats that. But I just want to enjoy it. I've changed with my sports fandom. I'm a huge sports fan. Over in the other corner of the basement here, we have 4 posters from Pop Chart with each of the 4 major sports and all the arenas and stadiums and ballparks, and it's a scratch-off poster, and you scratch off every one you've been to. And I've been to over half. I love experiencing things. I love sports. And my job of speaking at conferences allows me to go to these places. But it's different for sports for me now. I go to sports to enjoy. And I've been the guy with I think I have some of them here. Do I have any of them here? I don't think I have them on my desktop, but like I was the face paint guy. Jerseys, and the Lions game, I'd wear the big blue mohawk or this, and I had a blue cheese head one year. Like a big sports fan and run all the pools and all the sports. But honestly, I just want to enjoy it right now. I just where I'm at in my brain and my life. So if the Jays aren't playing well, I just turn it off. If the Lions aren't going to be playing well, I'll just turn it off. I'm not going to live and die with it. It's just too much. But I still freaking love sports. So, all right. John says, "What's the theme of your keynote for the brand chain event in October?" I just recorded a shout out video for that, actually. It's UnSelling, the new customer experience is the theme, which is based off the book. But honestly, I always do the talk based on kind of the audience and the timing of it, of that, wherever we are in our world. And it's going to be about, creating brand experience for your clients, for their people. I know it's a unique thing because it's the audience at brand change, they're going to be the ones who help their clients create experiences for their customers. So it's a unique thing and I love it. I used to be in the packaging industry, and I go to Pack Expo in Chicago at McCormick Place and stuff. So I love that middle group between the that are helping others do those experiences and stuff, because that's kind of my bread and butter. So we're going to talk about a lot of those, which is going to be great. All right, James, I'll find you these pics. Don't worry. I will find you these. I know I can find them. I'm telling you, I got them here somewhere. That's not it. I don't think. I'll find them. Hang on. Got to be here somewhere. Yeah, total face paint. Mohawks, whatever you want. There we go. I found them. All right, ready? Here's some.